How many times have you said, I just need more willpower? How many times have you started on Monday with the best of intentions? Then you've got to Wednesday feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, and you end up eating something that you hadn't planned to eat. And then you felt like failure afterwards. Here's what I want you to know today. That was not a willpower problem, that was a cortisol problem. And those two things require completely different solutions. The diet industry has made billions of dollars from the idea that weight loss is a matter of discipline, that if you're not succeeding, you're not trying hard enough. And this belief, this cruel, reductive, scientifically inaccurate belief has caused extraordinary suffering in women, particularly women over 40. Because here's what is true. Willpower is a finite resource. It depletes throughout the day. It's dramatically reduced by stress, poor sleep, and blood sugar instability. And in perimenopause and menopause, when your sleep is disrupted, your hormones are fluctuating and your stress response is heightened. You're operating with the willpower reserves of someone running on empty, and you're blaming yourself for it. Let's talk about cortisol. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone. It's produced by your adrenal glands in response to any kind of stress. This can be physical, emotional, psychological, or even the stress of caloric restriction. And in menopause, as estrogen declines, your HPA axis, which is the system that regulates cortisol, becomes much more sensitive and less regulated. Cortisol runs higher and it stays elevated longer. And here's what elevated cortisol does to the body. First, it drives visceral fat storage. Cortisol specifically targets the abdomen. It triggers your body to store body fat around your organs. This is the menopause belly that so many women describe that they feel like they have. And it's not about what you ate either. It's about how stressed your body is at that time. Secondly, it breaks down muscle. Under chronic stress, your body cannibalizes its own muscle tissue for energy. Less muscle mass means a slower metabolism. A slower metabolism means weight gain becomes much more likely, much easier, and weight loss becomes much harder. This is a vicious cycle that no amount of willpower can override. Thirdly, it drives cravings. High cortisol raises blood sugar, then crashes it. And when blood sugar crashes, your body is screaming for energy fast. Sugar, refined carbs, anything will spike your glucose quickly. This is not a weakness. Again, this is neurochemistry. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do under stress. Fourth, it disrupts sleep. Cortisol is supposed to be at its highest in the morning and at its lowest at night. Under chronic stress, this rhythm inverts. You feel wired at 10 p.m. and exhausted at 7 o'clock in the morning. And by 3 a.m., you're wide awake with your mind running and you just can't sleep. And poor sleep then raises cortisol even further, and the cycle just tightens and continues repeating. All of this is happening in your body regardless of your intentions, regardless of your desire to do better, and regardless of your willpower. What most people don't realize is that your body cannot tell the difference between any different type of stress. Whether it's a deadline, a difficult conversation, a restrictive diet, even a memory of something awful that's happened in the past, even anxiety of a thought of something that might go wrong in the future, even the guilt you feel after eating. To your nervous system, these all produce the same cortisol response. So when you white knuckle a diet, when you punish yourself in the gym, when you're exhausted, when you talk to yourself in a negative way, when you're not sleeping very well, when you're overly worried and stressed all the time, when you're weighing yourself every morning and you feel shame about the number that you see, you're adding more stress. You're raising your cortisol and you're making the physiological environment for weight loss worse, not better. And I want to add one more layer that is rarely discussed, and that's emotional stress. Emotional stress is stored in the body. Unprocessed grief, old traumas, the cumulative weight of decades of putting everyone else first. The identity loss that menopause can sometimes make you feel, that feeling of invisibility or of losing a version of yourself that you knew when you were younger. They're not soft topics, they are physiological realities. They live in your body as tension, as stress, and as weight. And this is what I mean when I say the work goes so much deeper than just nutrition. So if willpower isn't the answer, what is? Well, the answer is regulation and consistency. reducing the total stress load on your nervous system. We do this through what you eat, how you move, what you think, and how you treat yourself. Here are the things that have the most significant impact on cortisol in menopausal women. Protein at every meal. Protein stabilizes our blood sugar. Stable blood sugar means fewer cortisol spikes. Aim for at least 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast before your cortisol starts working against your blood sugar, which typically happens around mid-morning. This simple change has a profound effect on cravings, and that then lasts throughout the day. Strength training over cardio. I know this seems to some that it can be counterintuitive for women who have been told to do more cardio to burn body fat, but steady state cardio, long runs, spin classes every day, they raise cortisol. Strength training done appropriately, done the right way, it lowers it. It builds muscle that your cortisol is actually trying to break down. 2 strength training sessions a week makes a significant difference. Sleep as a non-negotiable, not a luxury. A physiological requirement for your body regulation. If you're not sleeping well, no diet will work properly. Your hunger hormones, your ghrelin and leptin, they're directly regulated by your sleep. We want to address sleep number 1 before anything else. It has a huge direct correlation with our cortisol and our stress levels. And this one is harder to quantify, but just as important, and that's reducing the war with yourself. Every act of self-compassion is a cortisol-lowering event. Research in psychoneuroimmunology has demonstrated that self-compassion practices measurably reduce cortisol. Being kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is not soft, it's a strategy, it's strategic. So the next time you reach for something that you didn't plan to eat, I want you to pause, not to judge yourself, but to get curious. What is your stress level at right now? What's today been like? What has your body been living in? How are you feeling? The answer to that question will tell you far more about what's happening than any calorie counting could. Ask yourself, what do I actually need right now? Next week, we go into the territory that most weight loss coaches never touch, the emotional weight, the weight that isn't the food, and why releasing it might be the most important thing you ever do. Share this if you think it's going to help someone that you know, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.